Well, good morning, everybody. How's everyone this fine Friday morning? Hope you're doing well. I am doing quite fine myself. I wanted to spend some time today just checking in, just saying hi, seeing how everybody's doing. The last couple of weeks I've had various couple of different interviews that we did, so I thought today we'd just say hi, see how you're doing. Things have been a little chaotic of recent. For all of us. It has been, politics in the States are what they are, crazy. COVID-19 across the world remains crazy. And I thought I would just see how everybody's doing today. We'll talk about maybe some coping skills, and if you have thoughts that you would like to share on that, I'd be more than happy to hear them, and love for you to put them in the notes down below. Good morning, Nora. Good to see you. Tracy, Reimer, Grace are watching. Good to see you guys. Say hi. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a little heart if you like it. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And you can leave me comments in the comment section below as well. Good morning, Abe and Betty. Glad to see you guys. Hope you're doing well. Sorry we can't see you at class right now. But that will hopefully come with time here as well. So it's been a crazy week here at the Haig House. It's, it's just nuts. Here in Manitoba, the university where my two youngest go to school. Good morning, Geraldine. Good to see you. The university has been threatening to strike. My kids are in their last year of university. The boy is in pre-architecture. My daughter is studying poli-sci. Good morning, Tracy. And, they just, like most kids our age, they're 22 years old, they want to get done with university, they want to get out. But instead, what's happening? The profs have been threatening to strike during COVID. Like, who does that? But that's not the point. My point is that it's just lots of stuff going on right now. And so with COVID, you layer on things like university strikes, you layer on things like needing to take your wellness center back out of in-person. Good morning, Dorothy. Go back online, have all your coaches and your instructors, your staff have to reshift their heads yet again to make this happen. And now starting today here in Manitoba, we are thrown even deeper into a code red where we're not supposed to be going out at all. We're not supposed to be meeting with anyone outside of our families. They're supposed to be limiting the amount of things that you can actually buy in stores, on and on and on. So, how are you coping? How are you getting by? What are the things that you rely on to get you through when life is a little nuts? When it just isn't the way you want it to be? When it's frustrating, when it's a struggle, when it feels like day after day you get up and it's just Groundhog Day all over again. So if you have any thoughts, throw them in the chat section there. I'd love to hear your thoughts, what you do. Well, what I wanted to talk about a little bit, a couple of points I wanted to throw out to you this morning. And good morning, Nora from Perham, Cambridge, Ontario. How's things in Ontario? I'm talking to some friends out in Ontario today. I can't tell you what we're talking about, tease, but we've got some ideas we're throwing around, working on some different things. You never know what Tim's up to. Always something on the go. So a couple of things I want to think about. When we get stuck in a rut of life just being hard, of just so many things going on that we don't quite know where to turn and what to do. One of the things I laid in bed thinking about this morning, sometimes we just need to let go. We just need to stop. And I mean that literally. We just need to stop. You get online, morning Brad, you see things going around, and there are some people in our families or in our friendship circles or wherever that sometimes we just need to stop. And there are a few folks online, especially, a few friends that I have, who sometimes you feel like, you're really wrapped up in this thing pretty tight, whether it's politics or COVID or masks or whatever it is. Morning, Rosemary and Ken. And sometimes I want to just give them the advice that wouldn't you feel better if you just stopped for a while? If you just let it go for a while, if you took a break for a day or for a weekend and said, you know what, we're not going to talk about COVID today. We're not going to talk about masks today. We're not going to talk about politics today. We're not going to talk about whether the red states did this or the blue states did that, or whether President Trump did this or President-elect Biden did that. We're just going to be at peace today. So, I want to suggest that for some of us today, that's what we need to do. We need to just stop. We need to stop. Stop talking. Stop ranting at your spouse about not being able to go to work. Stop ranting at your partner about whether or not you're going to be able to pay the bills. And all these things are important. And I want to stress here that I'm not here to change anybody's minds. This isn't about changing your political opinion. This isn't about changing your opinion on COVID. This isn't about fixing the very real struggles that some of us are facing. But rather, it's about giving ourselves a break to say we don't have to do this 24/7. That we can take a step back, take a big deep breath, and realize that the sun will set this evening. It will come up tomorrow morning. And if by chance it doesn't, you will have wasted your last day on earth. Angry, frustrated, stressed. For what reason? For no good reason. So for those of us who need to just take a break, that's my encouragement for you today, and maybe even this weekend. Whatever it is that's really got you burdened, really got you weighed down, really eating at you, I want to encourage you to take it and set it aside for the day if you can. Maybe even for the weekend. And just let it be. It will be there. It'll be waiting for you. It'll come back. You don't have to stress over that part. If it's really a long-term issue that's got to be taken care of, it'll come back for you. So just set it aside. Give your family, give your spouse, give your partner, give your work colleagues, give yourself a break from that thing that's just been riding you, that just won't let go. So you let go of it for the day, is my advice. Now I want to swing way over to the other side of the conversation. To all those friends who are my introverts. And you know who you are. You have built a nice, cozy little nest at home. You are, morning Betty, Rick. You are sitting at home. You haven't been outside because of COVID for days, if not weeks. You haven't spoken to anybody for days, if not weeks. You are very comfortable. You've got your knitting and your TV shows. You've got your books and your stuff. And you're almost to the point of not wanting to come out. Your comfortable nest has turned into a bit of a prison. Or you can feel the prison bars coming up. And you can feel the bricks being built around the windows. And you're enough of an introvert that this time with COVID and all this stuff is a perfect opportunity for you to run and hide and not come out and deal with anything. Well, I want to encourage you today that today's your day. You need to get out. You need to go for a walk. You need to smell the fresh air. You need to call a friend. Who have you not talked to in a while that you would love to talk to? That name that just came to your mind, I want you to write it down. I want you to commit to calling them today. And if not today, this weekend. To get outside of your little nest that you've built, this comfortable little place that you're in, that is actually becoming somewhat unhealthy and is locking you down. Now those are our two extremes, right? We don't want to call extroverts all angry, mean people. That's not the point. We don't want to call introverts all locked away, imprisoned, whatever's. But we know that we tend to get into these extremes, some of us sometimes. Morning, Eleanor. And so I want to pull us out of those. And all of us in between, Well, I want us, the old bell curve, right? There's the two extremes, and then there's the majority of us tucked away in the middle. I want to encourage us to remember the 7 skills of perseverance. We don't want to get caught in the Wile E. Coyote COVID coping mechanism. Remember 3 weeks ago, we talked about Wiley, where we get up every day, do the same thing over and over, hoping for a different result. That's just the perfect example of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and over again, hoping for a different result. We don't want to get stuck in that. So I want to remind you this morning of one of the 7 skills of perseverance is letting go of the happiness myth. And if you don't remember what the happiness myth is, it is that idea that nothing bad should ever happen to me. That I should only ever be happy. That the sun should only ever shine in my world. Rain should never fall. COVID should never enter my world. Nobody should ever tell me I've got to be locked down. Nothing negative should ever happen to me. And that's just plain wrong. Right, folks? It's just plain wrong. So I want to remind you to let that go. We were reading this morning, some friends of ours work in Nicaragua. Their COVID lockdown, they can't go outside. They can't go out of their house more than once every 2 weeks. Once every 2 weeks. We don't have it so bad here in Winnipeg. And it's a reminder, it's a good reminder to look around the world, to understand how COVID is affecting developing countries, third world countries, and people who are far worse off than we are. And to remember that as bad as it is here, it is far, far worse other places. So if you know me at all, you know I come from a Christian tradition, a faith. And I was reading some stuff this week that was reminding me to be patient. And it was a good reminder. I needed to be reminded to be patient. Because it's very difficult to be patient right now during these times. It's hard to imagine COVID being gone. It's hard to imagine the political landscape settling down. But the fact is, folks, it will. It will. COVID will go away. Politics in the States, which, yes, affects Canada and so much of the world, will settle down. Everything will settle down. We will go back to a sense of normality at some point. It may take a while, but it will. And so my question for you this morning, will you be ready when that happens? Will you be able to look back at this time and say, I used that time productively? I got out of my head, I got out of my space, and I used that time to some good. And I was ready when COVID ended, when things settled, and we could go back to normal. At U-Turn Parkinson's, we spend a lot of time talking about this, thinking about this, because we want to be able to hit the ground running when COVID finally relents and lets us get back to our normal life, our normal state of being. And I want to encourage you with that this morning, to look ahead, take that other skill within perseverance, accepting limits, accepting where we're at now, and take every advantage. Use this time to not only better yourself, but those around you. When you can't do all the things that you would normally be doing, use this time to do something positive. And then prepare yourself for when it all relents. You will be a happier person. Your world will be a happier place. Your family will be happier. Your colleagues will be happier. It will be better because you used this time productively rather than just being frustrated, irritated, and made angry by it. And trust me, folks, trust me. I spend enough time myself in all of those places and more. And this is just as good for me as it is for you to hear this morning. So that's what I want to leave you with this morning. Good morning, Amy. Good to see you. Everyone else that's checking in, I should just have a peek here, see if I can see anybody else along the way. My Well, let's see. Not seeing my comments. I love my tech. I just love it when it does what it's supposed to do. Anyway, I'll comment later if there's more comments there for you. But yeah, just a reminder to, if you haven't yet, it makes a great Christmas present, folks. It really does. Perseverance, 7 skills you need to survive, thrive, and accomplish more than you ever imagined. It's available in paperback, on Kindle, Audible, on Amazon. You can order it through your local bookstore. Pick it up and make a great gift for friends, family, colleagues, those that you love with Parkinson's disease. I have to tell you, if you're in Manitoba, we have sold out of our mystery box fundraisers. We had 100 boxes that we had up for sale. We have sold all 100 of them. Thank you so very much for participating in that. If you were thinking about participating and helping out U-Turn Parkinson's, you still can. Please go to uturnparkinsons.org, make a donation, help us to continue to grow and establish our wellness center here in Manitoba for people living with Parkinson's. And as always, if you haven't become a PD Avenger yet, please go to pdavengers.org and become a PD Avenger. And what is a PD Avenger? We are a global alliance of people with Parkinson's, along with our partners and friends, standing together to demand change in how Parkinson's is seen and treated. For example, there we go. Go to pdavengers.org, become a PD Avenger today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Lord willing, we'll be back next Friday with more of Coffee with Tim. Bring your coffee. Tea drinkers are also welcome. I'm gaining lots of new British friends, it seems, this time of life. I'm sticking to my coffee, though. It's been great chatting with you. I hope you take away some encouragement this morning. Hope you have a great weekend. Put some of these things to use. Give yourself some rest, some peace, and then we'll get back at it next week. But until next Friday, take care, persevere, and above all, live your best. We'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.